Hey guys, how's it going? Just gonna be covering my October recap here. Um, Ended the month up 181 bucks, so that's pretty good. And it just felt like consistency was the name of the game this month. We had a 62 plus percent win percentage, but that's only on 8 trades. But that's all right. I mean, I had my laptop go out middle of the month for about 10 days, so I was out of the market for a while there. So that kind of sucked. But I mean, it's still consistent nonetheless. And that was pretty much the goal for October, is to be consistent. It wasn't to make money. The money will follow if you're consistent. I believe anyway, and I've been told by many people. So that was the goal, and I think we did a pretty good job fulfilling that goal. Let's break it down some trades here. All right, starting with BRYYF. This was an OT Swizzle type play, but it was on a second green day, so I don't know why I'm trading this. Um, but Yeah, I mean, the better play would have been an OTC breakout, but this was on low volume, so I don't really think it showed up on my scans or anything until the second day where it gapped up. But nonetheless, it was just not a type of play that was ideal for me, at least. I'm not good at it. I have a better chart here. Hang on. So this is that second green day. Gapped up huge, spiked to like 49, came back down. Lows were like 37 on the fall. Like low of the day was 35. So huge range on this thing. And I was thinking this thing would consolidate, hold this bottom level here near end of day, and then we'll perk up into power hour and maybe gap up for a third green day. But instead, I was risking down here on 37, and I was buying down here, and these lows ended up failing. And then I believe this gap down the next day. Yep. So that was BRYYF. Just a bad trade, and I won't be trading OT Swizzles anytime soon. So moving on to the next trade I took this month. This is Winners WNRS, and this is a swing trade that I'm holding till early next year ish. Um, and this is one of the Jack type swings. If you don't know, it's like a recent supernova that's gone up and then came back down and pretty much set a base, consolidated for a long amount of time, and it's just flat line. It's just the flattest as possible, and you buy that flat line, and ideally you wait for sector momentum or something like that, news on the stock, and to where the stock can 2x, 3x, up to like 10x, 15x your money, and you're pretty much risking zero. So I'm in with like $1,000 position on this. This is like a DraftKings type play. I think I mentioned that, but it's like an online gambling, like sports gambling thing. So ideally, I think that can be a hot sector, especially into like the end of the month or the end of the year, excuse me, beginning of the yeir. And if you don't know, like OTCs are very seasonal stocks or exchanges, whatever you want to call it. Usually into like the winter months, last 2 months of the year, beginning 2-3 months of the year, they're usually pretty hot. So ideally, I can get a few grand win out of this. This is kind of a swing trade, or this is a swing trade, but it's kind of like a super speculative um, stock that I'm swinging, and I'm probably using way too much size. So I'm risking zero on $1,000. So if I lose it, it's $1,000 loss, a worst case scenario. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. This is IFXY. This is a really good trade actually. Um, if you didn't know, Moon Market is a YouTube channel, and he pumps these low price OTC stacks all the time. And he was super popular back in the beginning of the month here, like the first week or so. He was pumping out videos, and then everyone was buying the videos because if you remember, like last month, like CYBL and ILUS, like he was pumping those ones, and all of a sudden he got hot because he was right on those stocks. So naturally, just everyone followed him and followed him on these plays as well. Um, this was an OTC breakout that I decided to hold over the weekend. And a YouTube video was supposed to be coming out over the weekend about IFXY, but it never did. So the stock didn't gap up or anything, and I ended up selling right away before it dumped. It had a harsh red day, second red day. That's just the kind of market we're in. The choppy, gross, not clean, no follow through breakout market that we're in. And yeah, I mean, but it was still a great trade. Ended up making like 9% on it, or $36. This is probably one of the better trades I made this month. So yeah, let's go move on to the next one. This is another trade. Oh, excuse me. This is MJWL. This is another trade I took with IFXY that same Friday. You see the daily chart here. Great OTC breakout. And just another dump day. I mean, low volume, crappy, barely gap up. I'm lucky I escaped this with a profit. Um, it was just crappy. That's the kind of market we're in again. Like, great, perfect. Green day, right at the highs, and then crappy red day. I mean, the breakout does not hold. Volume just does not come through, especially in the first like hour and last hour of the day. This is just horrible volume. Um, and you might argue that this was bad volume as well, but it's still a lot better than what the second green day brought, or the second day brought. It's not even a green day. That's the problem. But then you see the third green day, or the third day, turns out to be a green day, and it's just choppy and gross, and I hate that. And it just can't be clean and have a second green day and a third green day, but instead it fails and then rips to highs. So that's the kind of market we're in. I mean, I have a freaking counter on how many times I've said that phrase. But yeah. And I think there's another trade I made on MJWL. We can get into this. This one was a little bit better, but it was still bad. I mean, I bought this third green day here, given it finally did break out, and it looked like it was holding the breakout. Could have bought this 12 break here, but instead I didn't. Waited for volume, a little bit more volume to come in, then bought a pullback, risking that pullback low, and then it ripped up, held that again. Could have been adding into here and then selling pretty much as it broke out again, and I was just not comfortable with it after that. I mean, it was just the volume was drying up, you could see, and it just didn't look very strong. It ended up being pretty strong actually near the end of the day, I think. But either way, I was happy to be out with a win, kind of like last time. As I'm still recording, we should just jump into VNTH. It's another OTC breakout. Pretty much that's the name of the game in October, and ideally into November and the end of the year. But yeah, this one was one of the better ones probably. Bought perfect breakout pretty much. Great entry. Intraday breakout as well as a daily breakout, and I love to see those. This was a super low volume, but pretty much selling dead top on the morning spike, and it ended up going higher, but I was still happy with that given it failed the breakout. You know, that's that theme again where it's choppy. You know, breakouts didn't hold, didn't look like it was holding, and then it ended up ripping and then gapping up and then going to 11 from my entry at 8.5. So I mean, I don't know how to trade it. Do you just have wider risk? Do you? I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah. Let's get into the next one here. All right, nearing the end of the month. Here we go. AABB, double A double B. This was another swing trade I was supposed to be holding. You can see another Jack type swing trade. This is probably a little bit better chart. You can see just a bouncing ball, and then it flatlines, and then it spikes. But instead, it faded right before I entered it, and right after I entered in, and then I pretty much sold break even. And today I think it touched like $22, and it'll probably gap up tomorrow and maybe panic. I mean, it's on its third green day now, so I'm watching this for a panic tomorrow, but that's a different story. Let's talk about this trade. So this was a frustrating ticker for me. Um, it was a swing trade, and then it wasn't a swing trade, and then it was a swing trade, and then it wasn't a swing trade again. I mean, it just felt like it was back and forth. Like I couldn't make my mind up if I wanted to hold this till March and wait for it to go higher, or if I should just take my break even, take it off the table, and be happy with that I didn't lose money on it. I ended up taking it off, pretty much break even, lost $25 on it, and but you'll see in this next trade here um, later that I entered into it again um, for that gap up. So I pretty much bought higher than what I originally bought at, and then sold into the gap up using the same size. So of course it was a huge win for me on $1,000 position, making about 17%. But I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, it's so stupid. It just frustrated me. But it was my biggest win of the month. So it doesn't feel like a win. It was just frustrating. And I ended up selling pretty good here. But before I went to like 23. But still $170 pretty much made my month for me. And yeah, I mean, you can see me enter right at the end of the day. I was just like, screw it, entered in right again, and then sold. So yeah, let's talk about our last trade of the month. This is on KVL. This is just a dip and rip try. You see long term downtrending crappy chart, and it gapped up. It had a nice like 7:30 a.m. 8 a.m. press release, super late in the morning, which I love those for the dip and rips. Spiked a little bit and then gapped down or crashed. Then consolidated here. You can see this consolidation, nice consolidation, and I just couldn't resist it. So I got in near this low consolidation, near mid consolidation, pretty much, risking low of day, and um, and it looked like it was gonna work for a second. I mean, it was trending higher. It was curling, and I thought maybe it would just break out on some volume, get up to 2.8, 2.9, maybe even 3, and I'd sell for like half a dollar share, but never did. I knew it, but and then so I just cut it at low a day. Thought it would work, but never did. I didn't think it was gonna work actually, but I thought I just had to take it because it was that consolidation was just too good. Um, yeah. So going into next month or November, which it already is, really focusing on consistency once again. That will be a big thing for me. Worked this month pretty well, and I think it can work next month. Um, if the market heats up, gets a little cleaner, I'm ideally looking to size up a little bit more. But then again, that's depending on the market. If the market's good and there's plays and the plays work, then I will size up, use $1,000, $2,000 positions. And if it doesn't, then oh well, I'll keep using my $400, $500, maybe even $1,000 position sizes. Um, and yeah, so I think that's all I want to talk about. And just want to appreciate you guys for watching this all the way through. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the end of November. Maybe I'll make a video sometime in the middle of November, but I doubt it. Don't wait on it. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.